Welcome, friends, fans, and foes of Modern Tribe alike. Today is April 11th, Thursday, and I'm going to begin walking through the back-end settings panel in the Events Calendar and Events Calendar Pro 3.0. I'd initially intended to do this all as one screencast, but it was going to be a 15 or 20 minute video that I know would not maintain your attention. So I'm going to break it up into a few separate segments. Today we're focusing just on the General tab and what you can expect from it in the 3.0 release. Users from the 2.x build will notice a few similarities. We've carried over a few settings. We've also added a few new ones for 3.0, and I'm going to showcase how some of those behave. Here we are on the dashboard of my site, and I'm going to come into the events settings, which are not located in the settings area. They're located within the events panel here in the left-hand admin bar. Come into events, scroll down towards the bottom, find this settings option, and click into it. You'll land on the general tab right off the bat. In subsequent screencasts, I'll go over these additional tabs. I'll probably be able to bundle them together because none of these are as vast as general, but today we're focusing just on general. And as you're going to see across the majority of these tabs, they all lead in with a little box like this, a box that kind of gives an overview of what to expect from this page. In this case, since the General tab is the first place anybody coming to check out the settings is going to land, it's a broad overview of the plugin itself and how they can make the most of it. That includes the option to view the calendar on the front end. We've had users complain in the past that when they first installed, it wasn't clear where the calendar lived. This option should help achieve that. You have an option to go over and look at the Tribe site and check out any of the available add-ons that are going to be compliant and work with the 3.0 release. And then you have the option to add a link back to Modern Tribe. If you add this, you'll, as you can see by the screencast, include a small calendar powered by link in the lower left-hand corner of your site. It only appears on the calendar itself, and what it does is it gives some nice link love back to Modern Tribe. It also shows users of your calendar what plugin you're using, so that if they like what they're seeing, they could consider buying it themselves. Don't feel obliged to use this. You don't have to. We're not going to default it to on, but if you do, we really would appreciate it. Let's get down into the actual settings now. The first thing we lead off with in the general settings is the number of events to show per page. This is pretty basic. It's like the overall WordPress setting that allows you to dictate how many posts appear in a given blog loop. If I go to my /events page, what this is telling me is right now I'm going to see 10 events. Then I'm going to have my next page link, I'll see another 10 events, etc. Sometimes people don't want to make their users paginate, in which case you can bump this up to 50 or 100. Similarly, if you only want to show the next event at your /events page, drop this down to 1. Whatever you set it as and save will apply across the board to all your events, but will not carry over to any non-event content. The Live Update Ajax is a new feature for 3.0 that we're adding, which I'm pretty fond of. Let's check out what it does. I won't even go into too much depth until we see it. Let's turn it off so we can see what it's like without it. I'm going to save the change, and it's worth noting that when we ship, we are defaulting this to on because we really believe in it and we spent a lot of time QAing it. We want you guys to use it because we think it's really cool. That said, let's come over here to the front end of our site, check out the events page, and let's make a simple manipulation from the events bar, such as picking a different date. I want to go view the events on 4/25, and once I make that selection, I have to actually come hit this Find Events button. Once I do, you'll see that the change reflects here. It shows that we're now seeing events from the 25th forward, and the URL bar is adjusted as well. But let's see what would happen if we had the Live Ajax filtering on. I'm going to turn it on, I'm going to save, then I'm going to come back and I'm going to view my /events page once again. Let's do the same thing, pick a different date from the event bar. And you'll notice that that was automatic. I didn't even have to hit this Find Events button because it automatically filtered for me. That's what the Ajax filtering does, and it applies both to the events bar here and to the filters panel, which I don't have enabled right now, but will be existing as a separate add-on that you can install and will appear over here in the sidebar. Recurring event instances and the front-end recurring event instances toggle are very similar. They both serve a similar purpose, and that is they allow you or your users to hide all subsequent instances beyond the next upcoming instance of a recurring event. Let's say, going back to this number of events to show per page, you have 10 events on your page. 9 of those are a recurrence pattern, an event that takes place every day for the next 10 days. If you want to make sure that your readers are seeing only unique event content, that is, when they look at this 10 events page, they see 10 separate events, you'll enable this. You will make it so that they only see the first instance and all subsequent instances are hidden so that they're seeing a wide selection of varied events instead of the same one over and over again. The way these two settings differ is that this one, the first one, recurring event instances, allows you to set it system-wide. You don't give your users an option. You just say, all right, for this site, I'm only showing the first instance. Nobody's going to be able to see the subsequent instances in the loop. That's just the way it's going to be. This is a bit more of a heavy-handed approach, but it's there for you if you want it. The more flexible approach is this one, which gives a front-end toggle for your users to make the decision themselves. Here you'll see I have it enabled, it shows right here, and if the user were to apply it, it would filter down below automatically. This allows users to decide on a case-by-case basis if it makes sense or not. But again, anytime you want to disable that, just come in here and uncheck it.